Okay, so this is Leetcode 7 reverse an integer. This is part of the famous Leetcode 150 top questions. We get an input number, like in this case 1 to 3, we will reverse it, the output should be 3 to 1. We get minus 1 to 3, we reverse it to minus 3 to 1. We get plus 120, reverse it to 21 because the leading zero does not affect the number. Also, they have an edge case that if at certain point you reach beyond the capacity of integer 2 to the power of 31 minus 1, then just return a 0. So we would need to refer to this edge case. And with that, let's jump directly to the solution. So we see here the pattern of using the mod. We use mod, right, in order to get each time the right digit of the number. So if we had 1, 2, 3, once we take x and mod it by 10, then we get this digit. So this is what we're doing here. Where each iteration, we take one of the digits, we do mod, we add it to the answer. But now in the next iteration of the loop, we would need to get 2. So we want to get rid of 3, and this is what we are doing here. We divide the number by 10, so we get rid of the 3, and then we do mod, and we take the last digit. So basically, there are a couple of tricks here, because solution is quite self-explanatory, because in each iteration we take the answer, which is, we start with an answer of 0, as long as we have an x, the input number, right? Multiply the previous answer by 10. So if the previous answer was 1, then 1 needs in the next iteration of the loop, 1 needs to be 10. Because we are beginning with an answer of 0, then we just multiply the answer by 10 at the beginning of the loop. Instead of using a mod, we use math.fmod in Python, and we make an integer of it. What is the reason? Why don't we just use divide by mod by 10? Because if we take minus 1 and we do mod by 10, then in Python we would simply get 1. We want to get minus 1, not 1. So in order to preserve the negativeness, we use math.fmod, which is a good trick to remember in Python, and we do the mod with math.fmod x 10. And we do an integer for the whole of it because it's not a complete number, it's not an integer. Same trick, similar trick we do in order to start getting rid of the digits on the x number, because the 3 operations that we do in the while loop is take the previous answer 1, take previous answer, multiply it by 10. So if we had 1, 2, 3, and we took 1, 2, 3, and if we took the digit 3, now 3 need to be 30, and we need to add 2 to it. So for that purpose, we first multiply the previous answer by 10, then we take the answer and add to it the mod, the rightmost digit, and we use math.fmod with integer casting. Then we need to get rid of the rightmost digit with x is x divided by 10, and we do a casting into it again to get rid of incomplete numbers. Then we just compare the result to the minimum and the maximum. If the result is in the bound, this is another nice Python trick. You can do check if a number is in a range in a single if. You don't need multiple if. You don't need if answer is bigger than mean, or answer and the answer is smaller than max. You just do it in the same if. You put the answer, you put the number in the middle and compare it to the two numbers, which is again a very nice compaction trick in Python for programming interviews. Then if the answer is within the min and max boundaries, return it. Otherwise, we return 0. Okay, so let's go over the solution. Again, we received 1, 2, 3. We take the answer, we multiply it by 10. We still get 0 because the answer began with 0. Also notice this trick, while x. While x means while x is not 0. Okay, so now we take the answer and we add to it. We add to it the mod of the input number mod by 10, which is 3. So we do 0 plus 3, is 3. Now we take the input number. And we divide it by 10. Again, with this trick of integer. So now the input number would be 1, 2. Now we get to the next iteration of the loop. We take the answer and multiply it by 10. So 3 times 10 means that it's 30. Now we take the answer and add to it the mode, the last digit, the rightmost digit of the input number, which is 2. So 30 plus 2 is 32. Now we take the input number and divide it by 10. So now x is 12 divided by 10 without, you see, we cast it to int, so it's simply 1. Now we take the answer and multiply it by 10, so 32 times 10 is 320. Now we take the answer and add to it the mode of the last digit, so it's 3, 2, plus 1, which is 21. So we got the reverse number. We are preserving the mode negativeness because we use math.fmode instead of the standard mode, right? Some short if to check if the answer is in the boundary, and then just return the answer. So this was the solution to Leetcode problem number 7, part of the 150 topmost questions in programming interview questions in Leetcode, reverse and integers with boundaries.